So this is possibly my favourite video of these four. This is the last one on this notch. First of all, we're extending a line that we've put a bit further back than the original line because we've decided we want to angle all the slopes to make sure that this hole is as safe as possible. Makes it less likely that any rocks will fall off or that there will be what I think they call disproportionate collapse. So already did a bit of this on the bank at the far end with Rob, but that wasn't videoed. So the first thing we're doing is going down here very carefully so as to not disturb the ground further than the actual edge we're digging on. And now Paula is able to judge the shape of it from up there and direct me so I make a nice flat plane, and also that it's in line with the string that we've put. Now the first bit we dig here we're doing particularly carefully because as we go along the next one we'll be following it. So we're measuring it off a piece of wood which is extending the line of the old retaining wall which is staying. And Paula's pointing out bits that I've not got flat, so I'm able to go in and do them carefully to get them flat. So this speeds up a bit once we get this guide plane. Measuring again. Measuring again, doing a bit more, measuring, moving over a bit, running up and down. I think we both got a fair number of steps in that day, going up to the top to look at it from the top and coming down to help hold the tape measure. We tried digging some of this with a fork. That is impossible. It's just too hard. Although it looks very easy with a digger, it's not easy with a fork or anything like that. It's not a soft material. I suppose it's been here for thousands or millions of years. We presume that the rocks came here due to the movement of plates of ice. I don't know how far they came. And before they were all rocks, perhaps they were on the bed of a sea or something. I don't know much about geology. It's a bit like giving someone a haircut, this bit. There's quite a big rock there that's like poking out, so we don't just want to pull it out because that's just going to make a big notch in the bank. So we're working around it. A little bit of digging with the fork. I suppose we want it to make it look tidy as well as be functionally stable. Move the digger out of the way to measure sometimes. I'm continually fascinated by the different colours of soil in our site. Oh, that is a tree root. from a tree that no one remembers. It's a very deep root, but it's definitely a tree root. There must have been quite a sizable tree in the last 50 years that made that root. Perhaps the tree root's older. That's enough for that day. We'll be back tomorrow. I do a fair bit of this, looking at what we've done and kicking the soil. So today we want to make a line at 90 degrees to that string. So we're going to measure a 3, 4, 5 triangle to do this. And bang in an extra post. And then once we've got our post, we can put a string along it. We can use that line as a reference to measure the bank on the left. So it's at 90 degrees to the front of the hole, as well as being the right width. I got a bit of wood up there to try and act as a bit of a guide, because it's a bit arbitrary exactly where the top comes. The bottom is more important than the top. So as long as the bottom is in the right place and the bank is sloped in a way to make it safe, then where the top comes is not too important. There was a quick bit of measuring. Now this particular bank had some very hard bits in it. This was quite difficult. In fact, I think at one point we reverted to a smaller bucket to try and work around the bits of rock that were still embedded in it, but that wasn't particularly helpful. I think we went back to the rake bucket. Quick measure all the way along. See how much more we've got to go at the bottom. Bit of chopping with the hammer, a geologist's hammer, and time passes, probably having lunch then. There's a smaller bucket, just neatening it up. There's a bit of silliness with the digger, pretending I'm a dinosaur stroking the ground, and back to work, back to measuring. Back on the rake bucket. And that's about it. It's finally done. A work of art. Oh, I forgot about the big pile of soil. So we had to pull the stones out of that. Have lunch. Pull some more stones out of that. And it was a particularly big pile that time. We're just generally picking up any stones that are lying in other places and putting them in the dumper to go and take them off to a stone store. parked up in various places, driving around with the lawnmower and our trailer. Certainly easier than wheelbarrowing them. We just try and use the machines anytime it will save our hands and joints and back, because we're definitely getting plenty of exercise as it is without doing anything which makes it harder for us. So now we're back another day, and the remaining soil, I thought I'd spread it out. In fact, I've got the laser level here so that I can spread it out accurately on a gradient. Keith and Carol came to see what was going on. So I'm actually misguided in doing this, because this whole area needs to be taken down to the level which will exist underneath the suspended floor, the beam and block floor that we're going to use. But it looks pretty, makes a good video. But yeah, misguided, shouldn't have done that.